How's it going, boys and girls? Data here, and welcome back to the Minnesota Wild franchise mode, episode 30, here in the 2027 off season. Already 30 episodes. I think the shortest series I've ever done is close to the high 20s, the longest around 50 episodes. So we're kind of in that range right now where we have more episodes and seasons behind us than we do have ahead of us. But we are definitely not done in Minnesota yet, as we have lots of work to do. Coming off of another disappointing playoff exit, the Central Division continues to prove to be the toughest in all of hockey, as we lost the Nashville Predators in 7, who went on to lose to the Blackhawks in the conference finals, and then they won the Stanley Cup. So once again, I don't know, I can't see the entire franchise mode, but the winner of the Western Conference, Hawks, Stars, Avs, Preds, Stars, the last 5 years have been Central Division teams, and we know that we were the Western Conference champions when we won the Stanley Cup in 2021. So the majority of Western Conference champions to reach the Stanley Cup Finals have been from our division, not making it easy on us at all. In the last one, we did have some decisions, as always, headed into the off-season. Might be a bit of a longer time to go over the comments, but I think once that is over, I'll present my game plan, and I think we'll roll through that quite quickly. So hopefully it shouldn't be the longest of episodes, but just to say, when it comes to expiring contracts, we're not dealing with too much, as Ellington, Kostin, Tarky are the bigger names. We're going to let Duclair, Kaut, guys like that go. So, you know, 3 bigger names, but with $14 million to spare and possibly thinking about trading 1 or 2 of them, we shouldn't be in a cap crunch right now, especially considering that we're likely going to be moving Brad Lambert on an $8 million contract. But as always, we need to do our due diligence and weigh all the possible options and see what makes the most sense for this franchise. I got to answer to the fans here, calling in on the radio stations. I got to be able to answer to them. There were definitely a wide range of opinions in the last one. Like Addy was saying that he might be the craziest person alive, but it's time to trade Brad Lambert and Russ Griffin. And then over in the YouTube comments, Michael says his 2 cents would be don't make any major moves like trading Lambert or Botter. So, you know, as the GM, it's a tough job for myself. But like I said, let's go through them all and make a nice, informed, and educated decision. So starting off with Kevin's YouTube comment, great job as always. Can't score against a hot goalie. We need that goalie. So our goaltending, I wouldn't say it was the issue, but it is definitely tough when you go up against such a hot goaltender. Maxim Morozov was playing all right in the postseason, 2-1-0. It was really Sergei Kozevnikov, who we're hoping will grow into that goalie, who wasn't really there quite yet. He was 1-3-0 in the postseason, so it was a tough 7-game series. We're going to hope that our goaltending continues to grow, and I don't think goaltending is going to be something that I really look at, since we're going to really just be relying on off-season growth. Apo says, so close, but yet so far. Good series, both teams played well, and sadly this wasn't our year. For the suggestions, you should trade away Lambert, Tarky, and Duclair. Thank you for the video. Thank you for your thoughts, Apo. So Anthony Duclair is on an expiring deal. We got him at the trade deadline. He wants, I think, $3 million, so we're not going to be bringing him back. He doesn't want to re-sign. It wouldn't make sense for us. But Brad Lambert, the 84 overall now at a low franchise potential, the 3rd overall pick from the Predators in 2022. We traded for him. He was on their trade block a few years ago. Funnily enough, like time flies, he has now played 4 full seasons with us, and he is not really getting much better. He had a good couple middle seasons here, and then at his most ice time yet this past season, making maybe not, well, by 2 seconds, not his most, but still 17 minutes and 32 seconds a night. He only put up 45 points on that second line with an 88 overall and an 89 overall sniper right next to him. So is it the worst point totals in the world? Not at all. But to be a low franchise potential, 92 offensive awareness, making $8 million, and not looking to be growing, that is very concerning. Mika Tarky, meanwhile, who was our 8th overall selection in 2022, he dropped in the draft. We decided to trade up and draft him. Great puck skills and all that good stuff. And he's been getting better in the regular season, coming off his best regular season, actually. 20 points and a +19. In the playoffs, he had 1 goal and was a -6. We scratched him for a couple games because he was just not good. He has not shown up in the playoffs. 1 assist in 17 games the year before that with a -3. So he has medium league potential. He's only 22 years of age. He's 6'5", big boy, great player. I like a lot of things about Mika Tarky. But if it's going to be time to sign him to a big $6.6 kind of million deal, I'm really not sold on him being on this team super long term. If we do keep him, I might want to go for a 2-year deal. But the problem is we have so much. It's becoming a logjam. It's not just who do I like, who don't I like. It's I need to look at the team as a whole. Boquist, Sergachev, let's say that's the top pair. You have Ellington and Botter on the second pair. And then Korea and Valen on the third pair. That leaves no room for Mika Tarki. Because we want to give Dimitrios Korea the time to grow down there on the third pair. We can't bury him in the NHL forever. So I'd rather trade Mika Tarki with all of his trade value, get something crazy, and then get Dimitrios Korea playing on the third D pairing and be able to bring Botter up to the second D pairing because he's been really good as well. He's now played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 full well, actually not 5, excuse me, including this season here. So he got injured in 2022, no, we got sent down a little bit. Excuse me. Either way, he's played 436 NHL games now, only at the age of 23. Plus 59 in his career. He's a very good defensive defenseman. I don't want him playing only on the third pair. I want him to get second pair. He's medium elite, making $4.9 million. So, sorry for that little rant right there, but just to say that's where Apo's coming from. Moving to Scott's comment. He says, I think it's time to move on from Lambert and Griffin. So, quick pause right there. Refresher on Russ Griffin. 88 overall, medium elite, making $8.5 million for another 3 seasons after this one. Yep. 8th overall pick from the Rangers. He was an RFA, didn't get signed. We traded for his rights. We had a massive negotiation issue with him for weeks and weeks and weeks. Finally got him signed up. He had great offensive numbers and everything, but he only put up 20 goals and 44 points as a second-line center, also getting penalty kill time, playing close to 17 minutes a night. I would have expected a bit more from him when you saw that he scored 61 on New York. Not terrible again, but just, you're making $8.5 million as an 88 overall. I want a little bit more from you. So back to Scott. Neither one's really lived up to their cost, and they don't seem to show up in the playoffs. Maybe one of them plus some other pieces can get you Lintner or either the offensive defenseman or defensive defenseman. I'll show you the draft class in a moment. And if you do manage to get Lintner, maybe that makes one of your current power forwards expendable for more pieces. So then he goes on to talk about how he simulates and how that could be concerning. But just to show you, the medium franchise player at first overall here, is it Wojtek Lintner from the Extra Liga. He's a medium franchise power forward. And similar to Owen Nolan, NHL ready. Chemistry isn't ideal, but it is okay. And usually we don't even think about this, but the Rangers did hop from, I think, 11th to 1st in the draft coming up. So I would not be surprised if they want to trade their pick. I wouldn't say it's a guarantee, but more often than not, teams that jump up that high are willing to trade their pick. So this could be a year to make a push to get the first overall selection, get a medium franchise player, have him being a beast on a ELC entry-level deal for a few years. That could be very interesting. Moving to Mikey, he says in the offseason, don't trade Lambert unless you can find a great deal. Wait until the deadline to make a move with him to see if he's playing okay, even if his guess is not. And if he grows, maybe you could trade him for the first from a bad team. If the draft class is bad, try to trade for a prospect, etc., etc. Anyway, great videos. Every day I check for Minnesota or Ottawa uploads. Love the channel. Keep it up. Mikey, thank you so much for your support. And I appreciate those thoughts because I then followed up with Mikey in the replies. And I said, what do you think about Lambert and Tarki for the first overall pick, potentially? He says that would be great. Never thought of that. So, just throwing around some ideas. Jackie B, I think you should package Tarki and Lambert and get someone truly amazing like Nicklas Enqvist. So we saw in the upcoming free agents that Nicklas Enqvist is going to be there. Probably the greatest player in the NHL right now. He's a 97 overall medium franchise power forward. High franchise power forward. No, 96 overall. He just came off a 61 goal season, 104 points, 117 the year before. So he is an absolute monster. If we could get him in free agency, offer sheet, trade for his rights, that would be for sure, absolutely. But I don't think that the Islanders are going to be open to trading him. I'll definitely give it a shot, but we previously tried to trade for him. And even for fun, I gave them like Rossi, Kaprizov, Sergachev, my 2 best prospects, and they said it's not even close. So I don't think it's going to happen, but we'll always give it a shot. Maybe that medium franchise power forward at first overall could become a guy like Nicklas Enqvist. Who knows? Ramsey says, initial thoughts, MVP is a split between Kirill Kaprizov, Cap the Cap, and Data's commentary. Thank you very much. But an unfortunate exit along with some disappointing performances, especially on defense. I would suggest shaking up the coaching a bit here as the staff has gotten you to the playoffs, but not through them. Oh, and dump that Lambert guy. So the coaching, we have good chemistry with the coaching. If a better coach came around, I would not be afraid to go after him. But that's a July 1st thing. We'll definitely look into that more. So thank you for bringing that to our attention, Ramses. Going back to Michael's comment now and his 2 cents, he said, hate the early exit, but do not overreact. The team is very close to dynastic territory, foundational pieces on reasonable contracts. Trading them will set this team back, in my opinion. The question is how to kill two birds with one stone. You want to build the team to maximize Kirill as your franchise player to stay in yearly cup contention while looking into the future once he starts to decline. It's a double-edged sword. I would advise to go all in on the medium franchise power forward, trade whatever prospects you have to, maybe even Turkey to get the first overall pick, and retool the bottom 6 with high-poised players. Everything else is set. As always, love the videos in this series. Next season can't get here fast enough. Can't wait to see what the other assistant GMs advise on the off-season. Go Wild, go. Thank you very much, Michael. That's very much appreciated. And speaking of the other GMs, we're going to head into the Discord server now. As we saw earlier, Addy was saying that Brad Lambert has been awful and that Russ Griffin has really not made the fan base happy. So that's something we need to think about as well. The fan base is not happy. We can't just keep them. The fans don't see 88 overall. They just see bad performances. And going to Narf's notes, Wild franchise notes from Narf. Lots of ideas. Let's see what sticks and what doesn't. Number 1, keep the coach unless a coach with an amazing fit for this team is out there. Number 2, Tarky needs to be gone. Sign and trade or trade his rights. Just as I was saying earlier, Botter needs to be on line 2, and Korea has to be given a chance this year. And we also have other defensive pieces that need to be moved around, like Pillman down in Iowa, medium elite defensive defenseman. Number 3, I totally disagree that we should keep both Lambert and Griffin. I think one or the other needs to say goodbye, or both in my perfect world. I think we can look at Middlestat as a playmaker that may fit and do much better than Lambert even without being a perfect fit. And any of our big names in the AHL can do as well for a much cheaper price than Griffin. Number 4, go all in on Littner, and if not, we go for Silverthorne first, and then Nelson or another top 4D, so those were some other prospects in the first round. And then number 5, Crooks and Rodin need to be on the 4th line this year, which will also help AHL growth for others. Those were 279 overalls in Iowa. And finally, number 6, as always, look for good two-way players in free agency and use our goalie depth to help get the players we want. Thank you very much, Narf, and thank you everyone for your comments. With all of that synthesized in my brain now, here's kind of what I'm thinking. We definitely have to move. Well, the 3 players on the block for potential moving are Lambert, Tarky, and Griffin. I think of those 3, the one that makes the least amount of sense to move is likely Russ Griffin. We just signed him to a nice, well, a big deal. I want to say it was a 4-year deal. We traded a lot for his rights. I don't know if it would make sense to trade him right away. The one that makes the most sense in my mind to trade is Brad Lambert, for all the reasons that I said earlier. And the guy who's kind of in the middle for me is Mika Tarky, because like we said, we need to free up a spot defensively. But it would be tough. It hurts to trade a guy like that. Medium elite, 22 years old, 85 overall. It hurts to trade a guy like that. It would have to be in the right deal. And that's where it comes. If the Rangers want to trade their first overall pick, that's where it becomes a lot more clear. Then we can move Lambert and Tarky for that selection. If not, that Casey Middlestat option is interesting. A good Minnesota boy. The problem just becomes, it depends on how many people are moving out of the lineup. If we just trade out Griffin and replace him with Middlestat, that still leaves us with quite a logjam. Or even if we trade out Lambert and bring in Middlestat, that still leaves Sven Sjogren on the 3rd line and Greenway and Kostin on the 3rd or 4th line. I don't like that. It depends if Kostin's coming back again. But I think it has to be either 2 go out and 1 comes in, or 1 goes out and no one else comes in. But then if we do trade for the first overall pick, and let's say Littner's like an 82 to 84 overall, that means he wants to play on the 3rd line. Then what happens to Klim Kostin? It's pretty delicate, and a lot of it hinges on whether or not New York wants to trade that pick. We also have Alex Kovanov, who could be coming back as our 3rd line center. But maybe we trade his rights, Alex Kovanov, and then we bring in Casey Middlestat. He becomes 2nd line center, and then Griffin goes to the 3rd line, and then you have Greenway on the 2nd line with Boldy and Middlestat. 3rd line becomes Griffin, Sjogren, and Kostin. I don't know, I'm just speaking just out of my brain, just whatever. I have a canvas in my brain. I'm just creating a picture. So I think a lot of what I am buzzing about will be solved as soon as I press enter draft here. So it's a 2027 entry draft. If the Rangers do want to trade this pick, I have to go quickly. I'll only have 3 minutes. And I'm probably going to offer them, we have what, the 24th overall pick? I'd be down to offer them the 24th overall pick and Brad Lambert to move to get a franchise player if they want to trade him, and we could work from there. So let's enter the draft, and let's see. Rangers like clockwork. The Rangers, what? Why do they always want to trade their... They traded us Russ Griffin. They traded us Nordquist, that other center prospect, medium top 6. That's crazy. Why do they always want to trade their people? They need to rebuild. Brad Lambert. Okay, that puts them over the salary cap. No problem. Brad Lambert and the first overall, our 24th overall pick. Let's take back some contracts from the Rangers and see what they're saying. Sort by trade value. And anyone with cheap contracts. I need cheap players on cheap contracts. Like Tage Thompson, $2.9 million. Still not quite. Because I don't want to take an 85 overall on a cheap contract because that's more value. Fiala's an 88. Kevin Fiala. Anybody else? 85 overall, not really. That's tough. I have to take someone who has an 80, who's a bit higher than. Okay, Michael Kempney at an 81. Still over the salary cap, really? I need to take someone again. Okay, Mayfield. Yeah, Mayfield. Scott Mayfield. And now I have too many skaters. Okay. But then if I give you someone, aren't you going to buzz now? I can't give you Duclair. That'd be too expensive. Holmstrom? Now you're over the salary cap, of course. So I need to take back one more player. One player who's costing more. This is eating up a lot of my time here. Can I take just Howden instead? Still over the salary cap. Oh my goodness. Come on, gotta go quick. Okay, whatever. I'll take Adam Fox, too much value. Okay, I'll take Kevin Fiala. I'll bring him back on the team. Trade. Okay, let's see what they say here. Lambert and 24th overall pick. Trade rejected isn't very interesting. Okay, let's say I do throw in Tarky. Could I take back a lot of value from you? Because Tarky, that's a big piece right there. What could I get back from the Rangers if I throw in Tarky? That's going to really help their defense. We don't have to see Tarky in the Eastern Conference as well, which is nice. Could I get a second this year and a second next year? 42nd, I think this is... That's even... Can I get a first next year? I have a minute here. Gotta go quick. I need to get a first next season. Trade rejected. Okay, let's try 2 seconds. Because I don't want to take more of their prospects. I don't think. Do I? Sundstrom, Cogliano. No, I'm not going to take more of their prospects. 2 seconds. What do you say, New York? Not particularly interested. I might have to swallow this. I might have to really overpay. But this is a franchise forward. I'm buzzing here. Okay, 3rd round pick next season. Come on, 2nd and a 3rd. Rejected, doesn't meet the block. Okay, just a 2nd then. Trade accepted. Oh my goodness! We just got the 1st overall pick and the 42nd overall pick for the 24th overall pick. Brad Lambert and Mika Tarky. Wow. Oh my goodness. Thank you, New York. You wanted to trade them. Mika Tarky and Brad Lambert. I wish you all the best in your careers. I really wasn't expecting to do that contract, do that trade. Kevin Fiala is back in the organization, but we're gonna trade him. While we have the time here, I might as well just trade those selections, some of those guys I just picked up. But I'm buzzing. That is crazy. The first overall, imagine he becomes like a Nicholas Engqvist kind of player. I wonder what his overall is. Any value from Tage Thompson, Anthony Duclair. Thompson can send him back to Buffalo. Get Tristan Jarry, 214. We get Philip Myers, Mario Ferraro, not bad. 215, 213. Oh yeah, off to the Avalanche for the 213th overall pick. There you go, Tage Thompson. And then who could I trade? Could I trade Kevin Fiala anywhere? Does anyone want Kevin Fiala? Yes, yeah, okay, 215. Again, 214. All right, I'm not. I'll send him back to Nashville, where he came from. But do I want to send him to a rival? That's the thing. You know what? It's for a 7th round pick. If they sign him, they sign him. If they don't, whatever. And Jonathan Toews. I don't think Jonathan Toews is going to come back. Would there be any offers for him? More 7th round picks. I could get Brendan Gallagher. Oof. But I'm not going to trade Taze. I don't know. I might bring him back. I'm not totally sure on that yet. And then defense, who did I pick up here? Did I pick up anybody? No, I didn't pick up anybody. Okay, wow. The first overall selection, the Minnesota Wild, the rich get richer. It cost us a couple of big pieces. 2 roster pieces right there. But from HC Skoda Plzeň, Wojtek Lindner, medium franchise power forward. He scored 29 points in 51 games in an A-plus competition. A-plus shooting, puck protection, goal scoring, pro release, similar to Owen Nolan, NHL ready. I'm going to say like 81 to 84 overall. That's like bare minimum 81, max 84. Maybe something more like 82, but should be 5-star shooting all in the 90s. So the Minnesota Wild are proud to select from HC Skoda Plzeň, Wojtek Lindner. He is 82 overall, medium franchise left wing with 5-star shooting. There it is, 92s everywhere. Good defensive categories, a strong skater, good physical for a power forward, of course, which is what you hope for. Wow, this is huge, out of nowhere. Didn't think that was going to happen, but the Rangers wanted to trade their pick, and we just got him. Medium franchise. Wow. That's a lot to take in. Where is he going to fit in the lineup? Because like we said, if it was trade 1 and bring in no one, or trade 2 and bring in 1, where does he fit now in the lineup? That, like one of the comments said, that makes one of our power forwards expendable now. We could probably let Klim Kostin go at this point. That's heartbreaking, but that's probably the better thing to do. We had said what was his name? Silverstone? Silverthorne. Morgan Silverthorne. We were thinking about him, medium top 6, but I'm not going to trade for another first-round pick. Our next selection's at 42. We would just miss out on a medium elite goalie, but we don't need a medium elite goalie. But there would be some good medium top 6 forwards. There's some here as well. Jody Mitchell, medium top 6 grinder. Nikita Kozevnikov, maybe Sergei Kozevnikov's brother. This is tough here, because do we trade up to get Rankin? This guy's from Great Britain, Easton Chorney? What? That's crazy. Never saw a prospect that high from there, I don't think. 2 years away, not similar to anybody. 3 years away, not similar to anybody. And he is 18. Pritchett here is Michel Goulet, 3 years away. And then Jody Mitchell is Claude Giroux, 3 years away. Zemnikov, 3 years away. Seth Rankin's tempting. You know what? I think I will trade up for Seth Rankin. I have so many 6ths and 7ths and stuff like that. I think it's worth it to trade up. So let's sim the entire round. Get to round 2. There are other players here. So the other medium elite players were 79, 79, 79, 77 there. Medium elite again. Medium top 4Ds. Yeah, decent draft class. Pretty normal, I'd say. A medium elite goalie right there goes to the Rangers. So with our selection that they got, the 24th overall pick, they get a medium elite goaltender, 62 overall at 19 years of age. So the Rangers, they have no excuse not be a good team. They have a lot of good pieces. Hopefully Lambert can wake up a little bit there. This is pick 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38. Let's try to trade with the St. Louis Blues. I'm going to give them, for pick number 38, that's New Jersey's selection, I'm going to go ahead and give them pick 42, and then I'll also throw in, yeah, look at all these 7s I have. Oh, hey, look, I have 2, 12, 13, 14, 201, 205. Okay, let's give you these 3 back-to-back-to-back 7th round picks here. Trade rejected, no problem. I'll throw in another one. I don't need that many at all. Let's try another 7. Trade accepted. Lovely. Get rid of 4th, 7ths, and then I can move up to take Rankin instead. Excuse me, didn't mean to do that. Sim to pick number 38. And with that 38th overall selection, I will go ahead and select from the Edmonton Oil Kings of the WHL, Seth Rankin. Ladislav Bebko is interesting. 5'9" center, 3 years away. I think I'm okay. I'm going to pass. I'm going to go with the playmaking winger, Seth Rankin. He is 67 overall, medium top 6. Yeah, pretty normal attributes for a guy of that range. They're normal at least as well. No 90 accuracy and 91 and 80 and 65 power. A lot of medium top 9 forwards. I want to see what that forward from Great Britain is like. Chorney. Bebko goes there, 65 overall. And no, still not going. Medium league goalie goes to the Hurricanes. Pritchett goes. He's still there, Chorney. I guess not. No, okay, there he is. Offensive defenseman, medium top 4D. Hey, look at that. Easton Chorney from Great Britain to Boston. That's funny, where the Boston Tea Party was. That's a little fun history. So yeah, it would have made most sense, I guess, trade value wise to take another goalie. But we have a lot of goalies in our system. I hate cheesing it too much, where we just take goalie for the trade value. When it makes more sense, yeah. When it's a 6th round pick, yeah. But a 2nd round pick, it wouldn't make sense to draft a goalie that high because we have our goalies of the future already. Next pick is at pick number 93. Anybody we really want between now and 93. Lots of good prospects for sure, but anyone we would actually trade up for. Low top 6 playmaker, more low top 6s, low top 6 two-way forward. Yeah, low top 6s are nice, but I don't think I'd particularly trade up for them. Yeah, I think we can go ahead and sim to our pick at pick number 93. Which they want to give me, the Coyotes want to give me picks 100 and 204 for 93. Are you serious? To move up 2 picks, I need to trade 4 7s, and you're going to give me a 4th and a 7th, not even a 3rd? That's garbage. Get out of here. Pick 93, here we are. So Vico, power forward, low top 6. Yeah, I think this guy's 2 years away as well, but he's 20. Okay, that makes sense. That's why he's 2 years away. But yeah, low top 6, absolutely. There is a medium league goalie, though. See, this makes sense like a medium league goalie at that point in the draft at 106. But I'm going to take Vico, and then I'll see if I can trade up for that goalie. Let's go back to see what he was. So medium elite and low top 6 is there. He is low top 6, 67 overall power forward. Very nice. Pekka Vico. And move into the next round now. We have pick 95. Hey, lovely. So they take a medium top 6D. And then with pick number 95, I'll take the medium elite goaltender. It never hurts to get another guy like that in the system when it makes more sense, like I was saying. So Daryl Reed, 18 years of age, good numbers in the U.S. system, 5 years away, so he's probably like a 52 overall or something. And he is... Hey, look at that! Rain Man today. 52 overall, medium elite, Daryl Reed. Definitely a project, but hey, we'll do that. Next pick is at 113. I can go ahead and hop to there. I don't think I'm really worried about missing too much at this point. 3 bars medium elite for Dennis MacArthur. Yeah, I'll probably take him. 3 bar medium elite versus 3 bar low top 4D. No, I'm going to take the 3 bar medium elite. He is from the Sudbury Wolves of the OHL. 5 years away. Probably another low 50 overall guy. And he is 48 overall. Medium elite, though, and that's all that matters. Offensive defenseman with medium elite potential. This is amazing. This is why you got to scout. This is why you got to scout. Pick number 124 now. No one really tempting yet. Not seeing a lot of anything crazy. 3 bars low elite for a centerman here. Bit of a stretch, but in the real world, you definitely make stretches like that. So yeah, I will go ahead and do that. 3 bars. Where was he? 3 bars low elite. Harvey Sturbach from the Winnipeg Ice of the WHL. He is low elite. 54 overall sniper. Nice. Okay. 17 years of age. Nice. Yes, yes, yes. Absolutely. Pick number 157 now. Shout out to anyone who caught that Office reference. Phil Camilleri from the Hamilton Bulldogs. 2 bars medium elite. Yep. I think that's going to sell me. Ooh, but 3 bars low top 6. Bryant Anthony, 5 years away, 16 goals, 36 assists versus 20 goals, 27 assists, also 5 years away. He's left wing, and this guy is right wing. I just took a right wing playmaker before, right? This guy's ranked higher, has a cool name. Phil Camilleri, welcome to the team. He is 56 overall, medium bottom 6. Can't win them all. I wonder what the other guy was rated. Where was he? Anthony, low top 9. Okay, not a big deal to miss him then. And our second to last pick now. Let's sort by potential. See if there's anybody hiding out there. Ooh, there he is, hiding in the shadows. Carson Hewson, possibly medium elite once again from the Quebec Ramparts. Medium elite, 48 overall. That is why, and that was our last pick. That is why you scout, my friends. That is why you scout. Trade bait. Lintner, Rankin, Vico, Reed, MacArthur, Sturbach, Camilleri, and Hewson. Welcome to the Minnesota Wild franchise, my friends. So I probably should have traded Costin. It would have only been for like a 7th round pick, though. I'd rather just take my time and figure out what we're going to do with him. Let's see. We got to re-sign some of these scouts. Any coaches? No. Okay, lovely. So I'm gonna re-sign all the scouts, and then we'll get into the contracts. All right. So we currently have $21.165 million in cap space. You love to see that. We could sign everyone here, but the question is, should we sign everyone here? So Skylar Ellington does not want to re-sign, which I don't really care about. I'll just qualify him if need be. I'd like to give him a nice big contract and get him here long term because I think that he's going to be a big piece for us moving forward. So I'm going to offer him 85% of what he's asking for. If he takes it, he takes it. If not, I'll just see you on July 1st. 85% of 8.4 is 7.14. So I'll offer you 7.150 for 8 years, Skylar Ellington, if you want to stay and be a big piece on this team moving forward. Klim Kostin, 85 overall, fits all the lines perfectly. Oh, and it's a cheap contract as well. You know what? He was wanting like 4.5. Now if he's willing to go to 3.7, I have to sign him. I don't even know if he's gonna have a spot on this team. I have to sign Klim Kostin. For a guy who fits the chemistry that well, and he wants such a cheap deal, 85% is 3.150. I have to. Alex Kovanov now, same thing. I'm not sure if there's a spot for him on this team. Yes, there's a spot. He's third line center, but it really depends on how people grow and where they're going to push their way into. Like Sven Sjogren could push his way into the center role in the third line if he's growing well enough. But you know what? I'm pretty confident that Kovanov has a spot on this team. I'm going to take him while he wants to re-sign because you never know if that might change. So I'll give him 85% of the 3.55 he wants for 3 seasons, which is 3.017. 017. So I can give him 3.025 for 3 years. We'll see what he says to that. Anthony Duclair, I don't have room for him. I don't have the space or the money, so I'm going to release him. He did okay when he was playing for us in the playoffs. Chekovich has been amazing down in Iowa, so I'd love to give him a max 3-year. Maybe not max. I'll give him 3 years, 0.925. Does that make sense? You know what? Why not? He could be fourth line center maybe. Zach Hyman. Everyone loves Zach Hyman. He'll be our 13th forward. He's asking for a pretty fair deal. I could probably get him down to just $1 million flat. So let me try 1 year, $1 million for Zach Hyman. Martin Kaut, I'm not going to re-sign him, I don't think. Yeah, 2.2, that's not going to happen. Thank you for your service here, Mr. Kaut. Norlander does not want to re-sign. He was pretty good. No, don't have the. It would have to be a two-way deal. Emil Bemstrom, I don't think we have the room for him in Iowa. He's been good, but as a center sniper, it hasn't been good for the chemistry in Iowa, so I'm going to end up letting him go. He was a waiver claim anyways, so not a big deal. Crooks, he is going to be in the NHL this next season, so I'd like to get him. I would have liked to get him on a bigger deal. We could go 8 years, though. He doesn't want to re-sign, but I'll still try giving him 85%. I'll give him 1.7. Yeah, 1.7 for 8 years. If he grows into a good bottom, third, second or liner, yeah, that's great. If not, no harm, no foul. 8 years for Aaron Crooks. Volkov, he's been a legend down in Iowa for years now. We can't say no to him. I'll give him another 2 years. Cody Ceci has been a legend in Iowa as well. I'm going to give him another season. Mac Hollowell's been good for chemistry as well as an offensive defenseman. Maxime Lajoie is a defensive defenseman. I'll give him 1 season. If they don't fit, they just get scratched. So it's not really the end of the world in my books, even if they don't play. Sokolov, same for him. Jonathan Toews now is an issue. We're not sure if it would be him or Chekovich as the fourth line forward. And he's going to keep dropping as a bottom 6 potential. I'd look for him on July 1st, but I don't think I'd sign him right now. Tracy, also a sniper who doesn't fit the line chemistry very well, had medium top 6, dropped to medium top 9. I'm going to release him and see if there's anyone better in free agency for Iowa. Damien Giroux had like a 70-point season last year, so I'm happy to give him 2 years at 0.950 for his great work. Holmstrom doesn't fit very well, release him. Fanaseev, a power forward who's been good in Iowa, give him his deal. And then we have a couple unsigned prospects, both low top 6, so yes, I will snatch you up right there. Romano and Hart. Great. Unsigned players now. We're just going to sign, I believe, just Ledin. I'll sign Ledin as well. Ledin. He was our 31st overall selection in 2026. Offensive defenseman playing in the SHL. Had a 15-point season. 6'1". Yeah, I will get him in the AHL for this upcoming season. Or should I not? Should I wait until his UFA status? That's a good question. Maybe I should save a season. But Lintner obviously will be signed to his entry-level deal. Let me see what the depth in Iowa would look like. Let's advance a day and get all the scouts and everybody signed, and then we'll see what happens. Dream of mine to join the team. Honor to join the team. Easy decision. Hyman, offer was not enough. Lajoie, too many players. Everybody else, yes. Kostin, offer not enough. Volkov, yes. Holloway, Crooks, Giroux, Afanaseyev, yes. Kovnov doesn't like the change of duration. Ellington is going to reject. Yeah, I'm going to test the free agent market. Bello, you're a restricted free agent. You're not testing anything. Romano's on board. Great. All right, so now let's see what our cap situation is like with those guys taking. Oh, so it's still pretty fine at over 20 million. And we have a lot less names to deal with, which is nice. Klim Kostin, he didn't like the money, but he still likes the years. So let me try 6 years at 3.2. Let me try that. 6 years at 3.2 for Klim Kostin. And Alex Kovanov, I only gave him an extra year. I didn't think it was that crazy. But you know what? If you want to stick to your guns at 2 years, you can stay at 2 years. But now it means I'm going to offer you 2 years, $3 million instead. So now you're losing out on some money here, Kovanov. Zach Hyman didn't like the 1 year, $1 million, so I'll try 1 year, 1.05. Oh, splitting some hairs. Lajoie says too many players at his position. So you know what? Great. Goodbye. And Jonathan Tays, I didn't even try offering him. Ellington, you're going to be a pain in my side, so I'm just going to qualify you and see you later. Advance a day, let's see what happens. Now all the scouts are signing on. Great. And same things for all 3 players. Still not enough money. Kostin, I'll now go. He wants to re-sign, and he doesn't take 85%. And someone who doesn't want to re-sign, like Crooks, does take 85%. So that's crazy. 6 years, 3.350 for Kostin. Kovanov, I'll give you 2 years at 3.150. And Hyman, I have no reason to really keep you aside from you being a fan favorite. So 1 year, 1.1, take it or leave it. Jonathan Tays still wants one. I'm gonna release Jonathan Tays. I'll see you in free agency. I'm not gonna sign you for that much. Ledin, I'm still not sure what I'm gonna do about him. Same for Louis Bourdon, who was our 23rd overall selection in 2026. Two-way forward, really good center he's turning into, aside from his face-off stat not being great. Really good two-way forward, I should say, instead. Great season down in Halifax. I'm not sure if I should leave him for another year in juniors, though, so not sure. More scouts signing on. Easy decision, says Zach Hyman, of course. Kostin offers not enough, and easy decision, says Alex Kovanov. Lovely. So now it just comes down to Klim Kostin. I still don't know if you're going to be staying here or not. So the more you're costing me, the more I don't want to keep you. 6 years, 3.450 for him. Were there any goalies I had to take a look at? Ekman, medium backup. He was a 7th round selection. Really good numbers though in the in Liga. 19, 9, and 4. You know what? I'm gonna sign you. You can be like 3rd goalie in Iowa. You're putting up good enough numbers for me to say maybe you simulate well. Advance another day. Your offer is not enough to entice me. Blah, blah, blah. 29th of June now, so we're getting down to the wire here. 6 years, 3.550 for 6 years for Klim Kostin. It was an easy decision to decide to renew my contract with you. Sure thing, Mr. Kostin. That's everyone taken care of. Let's go to July 1st now. What's up here? Are we going to go after Nicholas Engqvist? What is the story? So as always on July 1st, I'm just going to head into the hire staff page. I'm going to see if there's any better scouts to improve on the scouts that I currently do have. There are a lot of NHL head coaches available, which is interesting. If we're sorting by overall here, just to say how the team fits. Any really good team fits? 66% here for Jacques Gagnon. 66%. He's B-rated. Doesn't have a full fit for Kaprizov. I don't think anybody has a full fit for Kaprizov. Anyone above? No. So 66% is the highest. And our current coach, Colton Reinprecht, gives us 62%. And a bit better overall is A as well. So I'm not going to shake up the coaching staff just for a 4% difference. But like I said, I'm going to go hire some better scouts. For example, if there's someone better in the NLA, I'm going to go hire him. So give me a moment. All right, that's done. There's actually no good scouts to upgrade on, so nothing to touch there. Free agency. Nicholas Engqvist is here, like we said. He wants 7 years at 14.7. Not insane. He was making like 19 million for 1 year last season. Also have Foligno in here, another 1st overall selection, John Foligno of the Nashville Predators. He is a franchise sniper. So sorting by overall here. So Ankfist, Foligno, of course, the big names, both RFAs. Everyone else in the UFA category, though. So just quickly, let's look at the UFAs. We got Matty Barzil, Jesperi Kotkaniemi, Hannafin, Steele, Hayton, Thomas, Skinner, Marcia. So all with big price tags, I gotta say. Big price tags. We have 15.5 million in cap. Let's say 7 of that goes to Skylar Ellington. That leaves us with something around 8-ish million. So would we really want to do anything with that 8 million? I'm not sure. Like Taylor Hall's here, 86 overall sniper. Where would he fit really? Couldn't really tell you. I think the team is pretty filled, pretty full, especially with having just gotten that first overall selection who's going to make it into our lineup. Torrey Krug is a free agent. So if we just look, I wonder what the defense market is like. The defense market is always tough, especially defensive and offensive defensemen. So you have Pionk wanting 5.6. That's a pretty fair deal. But then you have a guy like Pareko, who's 34 and 83. He wants 5 million a season. Bit expensive. Brett Pesce wants 6.5 million as an 83 overall. Dumba wants 6.5 million. So 6 million for Philippe Meyer. So yeah, it's kind of crazy. Goaltending market, who's out here? Thatcher Demko, Braden Holtby, Michael DiPietro, Tristan Jarry. Just looking at looking at UFA and sorting by potential for players in the AHL, perhaps. Could there be anyone we go after? All of them are at least 23. There is some really low overalls. Not a good year for prospects in free agency, I'd say. This guy's probably the closest one. Caden Mukalt, two-way forward, low elite, 20. I'm gonna pass on that. Going back to all skaters now. So if we were to go after Nicholas Engqvist, it would cost us a boatload of money, first and foremost. We could get him at 1 year, 12 million. Like, what's the Islanders' cap situation like? Because this is like a super long shot, but we did spend a lot of time on this a couple off seasons ago thinking about it. Is he on their trade block? That would be twisted. No, he's not on their trade block. So they do want to get him signed. They have a ton of cap space as well. They have 39 million in cap space, so they would be able to match anything. I'd have to trade for his rights. I wouldn't be able to sign him to an offer sheet. So just in theory, if I were to say, hey, I'll give you the guy I just got first overall, the value's not even there, but I want to see what would they say to this. It would say, isn't where it needs to be at all compared to what we're being asked to give up. So if I were to take the first overall pick, Lintner, and I also throw in, I don't know, my upcoming first round pick, just to see what the value looks like. We could live with what you're sending us, but not in this deal. It's woefully insufficient. So just to say, it would cost a lot. I'm confident that this wouldn't go through no matter what I offered. So I don't know. Let's throw in someone like MacArthur here, another medium elite player. Tons of value, woefully insufficient. The value's getting pretty crazy and it's still woefully insufficient. So no, that's not going to happen, unfortunately. But we did give it the old look. Speaking of Skylar Ellington now in the contract situation, we could also look at other expiring deals. Marco Rossi could get his extension, currently making $7 million. He wants $10 million for 1 season, 16 for 8. Yeah, that's not going to happen. He'll go down by a lot. So I'll wait for that. Kachuk wants 9.6. No, I'm going to wait a long time. Skylar Ellington. I said I was willing to give you 8 years, Skylar. Now he only wants $7 million for 8 years? Oh, it's a good thing I waited. 85% of that is just $6 million. So I could get you for 8 years, $6 million. Is that what you're telling me, Skylar? On July 1st, you just woke up and changed your mind? 8 years, $6 million. Let's see what Skylar Ellington says to that. And it'll still leave us with about $9 million in cap space. So, boy, 'cause I'm trying to think about how the lines would look right now. What kind of... Are we missing anything? So I'm trying to think, what would the lines look like right now? Are we missing anything? Forwards, sorting by overall. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Right there. And then we have Crooks as well. And Rodin. So actually, let's think about Crooks and Rodin making the lineup. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10... 11, and Rodin 12. That means Chekovich and Hyman are the 13th and 14th forwards. But we need someone to play center. That's the problem. And we have a surplus of power forwards now. Because if Kaprizov, Rossi, and Kachuk are the first line, that leaves Griffin, Boldy, and let's say Greenway, I don't know, as the second line. Then Kostin, Sjogren, and Kovanov is the third line. And then Littner is going to be on the fourth line with Rodin and Crooks. No, we can't do that. So that's what makes me want to say, let's, I guess, trade Klim Kostin, who, although he has great line fits, doesn't even show it to us here. Although he has great line fits, we could get rid of him. That bumps Lintner up to the third line, and that allows Chekovich to go and be the fourth line centerman, or Jonathan Toews, whoever we signed in free agency or whatever. That's something to think about. Now, looking at defense, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 right there. So, but our sixth would actually be Skylar Ellington. So forget the seventh D is actually Axel Anderson. He's not the sixth. So defense, we're pretty much set there. I don't think that's an issue. And goaltending, we have Morozov and Kozevnikov with Primo as the third goalie. Wallstedt, Stanton, Ekman. So I don't think we need to spend that money. We could use that just for extension dollars. We don't need to spend it just because it's there. Because the argument could also be made to get rid of Greenway or even get rid of Tkachuk. Greenway, well, Tkachuk's on an expiring deal, so maybe that makes sense. Greenway is signed for this season and then for one more season at $2.625, and he's the longest serving player on the team at the moment. Meanwhile, Kostin just signed the 6-year, $3.55 million deal. So someone's got to go out of Kostin, Greenway, and Tkachuk, I feel. If Tkachuk leaves, that hurts the first line a little bit. But Greenway could still slot in there, or even Kostin and maintain the +3 for chemistry. That's a tough call right there. I'm going to need your help on that one. That's not a decision I'm going to make here on July 1st. I'm not going to make that decision on the first day of the offseason. I'm going to wait for all of the assistant GMs down in the comments. We'll make a decision when the preseason rolls around. So pretty much the only thing I have to do is do scouting and Skylar Ellington. I've taken care of Ellington, I've taken care of the scouting, and now we're in advance a few days, see what happens, and hit the off season. And then yeah, I assigned a scout by accident and I didn't need him anymore, so goodbye to that scout. Not going to do that trade, no thank you. And then Ellington rejecting the offer. When you decide to offer a different amount of years than what I want, you should be looking to make it worth my while financially, don't you think? Okay, cool the attitude, buddy. So now he wants 4 years, 5.7. Okay, the 8-year deal is still the same. So yeah, you know what? I'm gonna give you, yeah, here you go. 8 years, 6.150. How about that? I'm gonna keep doing whatever I want. You're an RFA. I hold all the power. Let's see what you think now, eh, Bello? Can advance another day. Reject an offer. Don't you worry about it. We'll find something that works out. The Coyotes are just offering me John Tavares there. By the way, Jonathan Toews, is he still out here in free agency? If we're thinking about fourth line centerman, if we were to make a move, what's going on down here? Let's look around the 81 range, but where specifically Jonathan Toews, though, I'm looking at where he is. He's in the 79s probably. Johnny Toews, did he get signed? No, here he is, 78 overall. He still wants 1.15. Sorry, 1.5. Why would I do that? I'd rather sign someone who's like 2 overall higher than you for the same price, right? At Walmart or something. So I'm not really. I could wait on the fourth line center a little bit. Even I could get Cole Fonstad, undrafted, playmaker. Forsbacka Carlson, NHL legend. Charlie Coyle, that's not bad. Medium top 9. He's going to drop a little bit, but 75 faceoffs. I want someone who's a bit better on faceoffs. This is quite the name right here. Also a playmaker. Fits all penalty kill lines. 99 discipline. Good for you. Kevin Hayes could be an option. Former Wild. He played here for a little bit. Yeah, these are options. These are options. I'm going to keep waiting a little bit. I'm not in a rush. No problem with me. So I just offered Ellington 8 years at 6.2. Just quickly flying through it there. He now wants $7 million for 8 seasons, so his demands are coming down just a little bit. Advance a few more days and see what Skylar has to say. Now on July 17th, yeah, I believe this signing will be good for myself and the franchise. Yeah, thanks for the most unenthusiastic message I've ever seen in my life, Skylar. Enjoy raising the Stanley Cup here for the next 8 seasons, right? Oh, $10.515 million is what we are left with here. Looks like Nicholas Enqvist and everybody else all got signed to their contracts. Looking at, centerman, specifically centerman. I don't know, because we do have Chekovich, so I'm not really, I don't know, do I really need someone here? There's Chandler Stevenson, who's a two-way forward. A two-way forward who fits the fourth line would be ideal, but we don't know who fits the fourth line or not. So I'm just looking at random two-way forwards. Matthew Highmore, 79 faceoffs for him. Doesn't fit any of the schemes, maybe. So it's kind of like a shot in the dark here. Yeah, Mark Jankowski doesn't fit anything. Because he'll be playing with Crooks and Rodin, sniper and power forward. So maybe a playmaker is the move. Maybe a playmaker for the fourth line is the right thing to do. Maybe a Lucas Wallmark then with his 80 faceoffs. Maybe. There's also Michael Agostino, 4th round pick in 2021. Fantastic puck skills, 78 faceoffs though, which isn't great, but he would only be playing 4th line minutes. He played one season, he played 99 games in the NHL. He's been good in the AHL. Michael Agostino. That's very tempting. Yeah, that's some surprising numbers there. Ruslan Ishkakov, playmaker, 70 faceoffs. Nope. Zach Dean, 77 faceoffs as well. I wish you could sort by attributes in free agency. Akil Thomas, 78 faceoffs. I really want someone who's good at faceoffs. Is that so much to ask for a 4th line center? Can you be good at that? Esposito. Dawson Esposito, former 1st round pick. A playmaker from the Caps with 4-star shooting. AHL numbers, 63 points last season. Career AHLer, but good stats. Still 78 faceoffs, but at least it's the discipline that's boosting his overall a bit. So I'm between Esposito. Esposito was his 78 overall. So you know what? I'm going to sign Esposito for like Iowa. He'll be an RF. There you go. 2 years. Keep him in Iowa. He'll be my AHL pick. And then for the NHL, I'll go after Agostino here. 79 overall, but there's a team interested in him. So I'm not sure if it'll be Agostino or Chekovich or what or who playing. Maybe a two-way forward would be best. Maybe someone who's an 81 overall, like Michael Granlund at an 81 overall might be a better idea. He wants 1.4. Agostino wants 1. So it would be cheaper, and he's 2 overall higher. I gotta be smart about this. Then you got Der Agustijn, and he has a 5-star puck skills, 81 faceoffs. So maybe he would be the best. But overall boosted by the discipline a bit. I'm going to offer him a contract. If he takes it, he takes it. And if not, then we'll go after Michael Granlund probably. So he's 26 years of age. I'm going to give him just a 2-year deal. And I'll give him $1.2 million for 2 seasons. I think that's a pretty fair deal for him. And if we can just get that over and done with, we can advance to the off-season. Extremely happy. Hey, your cash offer was most generous. All right, so he'll likely be our 4th line center, but a lot pending. All these things are pending chemistry evaluations. Who knows how things look once the chemistry comes in. So let's head into the preseason. Dawson Esposito's on board as well. Lovely. Let's see how we look when September rolls around. All right, so here we are at the preseason. Let's check out these lines, see who's had some good off-season growth. Rossi's at an 88, Lindner's still at an 82, Sjogren's still at an 85. I don't think there's been growth from anyone in this lineup, so let me just presto changeo into how we want it to be looking. All right, so this is a bit more like it. Kaprizov, Rossi, Tkachuk with a +3. Second line, it could be Greenway, Griffin, and Boldy. Only a +1, though. Third line is looking like Lintner, Kovanov, and Sjogren with a +3, so that's nice. And the fourth line would be Crooks, Arguchintsev, and Rodin. So Rodin and Crooks get to make their NHL debuts. Defense, there was some growth. Boquist, Ellington would be the first pair with a +3. Botter, Sergachev with a +1. That's all the same. But Valen and Korea have both grown from 81. Well, I think Valen was an 80. Either way, they're both now at 83s. So that's very encouraging, I should say. Both of them listed as top 4 defensemen. So should we try and move? I don't know. There's been talk of moving Sergachev. I don't know, but I'm just going to leave it at that. Goaltending, the only growth was Kazevnikov growing from an 80 to an 81. So not much change there. Morozov still at a 24 despite having such a good season. And Primo third goalie, Kostin 13th forward here. And then, of course, you have Zach Hyman. So we need to figure out what do we do with Clint Kostin. Greenway could go here. If Kostin went here, it still stays as a +1. This is how Greenway's line fits look. Not as good on the second line as the first. Could maintain a +3 on the first line, and so could Lintner if we put in Tkachuk's place. And then here are Kostin's line fits. Very, very good for the first line, of course, and perfect for the third line as well. So that's the issue. There's a lot of different ways we could go right here. You know, you could trade Griffin, get a playmaker, get a +5 on the second line, get a better power forward, get a +5. There's a lot of different things. Third line, I'm not sure what's up with Sjogren. I hope he has a strong sophomore season. 27 points wasn't bad in his rookie year, but for an 85 overall, getting to play what? Yeah, he's playing third line minutes, and he was playing first penalty kill, I think. I would have wanted a little bit more, because that's a strong third line. Like, I need to be realistic in my expectations, but still. AHL, I'm going to have to sign some players for the AHL. I need a power forward to fix the chemistry. I'm going to probably sign Ledin because he could play with Pillman and get hopefully a +5 on the top pair. So I'm gonna take care of some of that stuff off screen in a moment. But that's just a major question that we have. We'll roll through the preseason. I'll give Kostin some chances in the preseason. We'll see where it goes from there. Alternate is not Boquist. We go Captain Kaprizov, first alternate Sergachev. That's true, because the second alternate was Jonathan Toews this last season, I believe, and he wanted too much money, so he can't come back. So I guess it'll go to the longest serving player on the team at the moment. I think Jordan Greenway has deserved an alternate. So we'll go Captain Kaprizov, and then the alternates being Sergachev and Greenway. But I don't know, that if Greenway's not going to be playing much, or if he's getting scratched, we could always change that. But that's how I'll put it for the moment. Getting the preseason. So what I'm going to do now is just take care of all the scouting off screen, send out some contracts off screen as well for the AHL. We'll see how we do in the preseason, and then I'll leave it to you to make some decisions. All right, so that's all taken care of. I also edited all of the lines, special teams for both the NHL and the AHL. So for example, special teams in the NHL, +3/+3. I'm going to try giving Lintner first unit power play time. With that medium franchise potential, his overall could just skyrocket this season. So the scouts have been sent out and all that good stuff. We're going to do all 7 games of the preseason. I'm going to rotate the power forwards every couple of games. I'm going to try rotating Tkachuk, Kostin, and Greenway every few games, as well as the goaltenders. So I did sign Christopher Innes as well for a 7th defenseman in the AHL. 3-1 win in that game against the Dallas Stars. And then against the Colorado Avalanche, 5-2 win. Next couple of games, let's try Greenway on the first line and then Kostin on the second line. And we'll scratch Matthew Tkachuk. So we'll try a couple games of that, as well as Kuzevnikov between the pipes. Despite the really good performances from Morozov, just want to see a little bit from Kuzevnikov as well. He had a really good regular season. He had some good, well, a little bit of growth over the offseason. Nashville Predators, we shut them out 6-0. So how do you do, Sergei Kuzevnikov? And then the Hawks are 4-0 coming off of a Stanley Cup. And we beat them 6-2. Okay, so Matthew Tkachuk being scratched seems to be an okay thing so far. Whoever is doing better will be scratched since their position is a bit more secured. Greenway has 4 points in 4 games. Kostin 3 points in 3 games. So I guess Greenway can be scratched. And then we'll put Tkachuk back to the first line. And then I'll keep Kostin on the second line, which is more likely the spot that he would play were he to make the lineup. So let's try a couple more games like that. Morozov will be in tonight, and then next game will be Kuzevnikov again. Blues, we shut them out 4-0. Sheesh, what a preseason this has been. And my apologies, Kuzevnikov. I forgot to turn off auto-rotate goalies. So that's 2 shutouts and 3 wins for Kuzevnikov. I'll give Morozov another chance out here. 3 points in 3 games for Tkachuk. Kostin 3 points in 3 games as well. And then let's just get this last game done against the Winnipeg Jets with Morozov between the pipes. And we finish off with a 5-3 loss. So we go 5-1-0 through the 6 games of the preseason. Marco Rossi scored 10 points in 6 games with all 10 assists, and Kirill Kaprizov scoring 8 goals in 6 games. Now at the age of 30 he is. Boquist 9 points, Boldy 5 goals 2 assists, Voltek Lintner with 4 goals and 5 points in 6 games. That's telling me hopefully more good things to come. Kovanov, Sergachev 5, Greenway 4 points in 4 games, Crooks with 3 goals, Sjogren 3 points in 6 games plus 5, Tkachuk 3 points in 4 games, Kostin 3 points in 4 games. So do with that what you may when it comes to figuring out who's going where, who's trade bait, who's scratched, who's getting traded, do we all make the lineup and someone else comes out. I don't know. Griffin, 3 points plus 4. Rodin, 2 assists, -3. Excited to have him in the lineup. He was a 2023 first-round pick from Florida. We traded for him right away. I loved his 5-star shooting. I got him on board. He played 4 seasons in Iowa, putting up really good numbers, especially last season with 46 goals and 90 points. So hopefully he's finally ready to make the NHL. Ellington, 2 assists plus 2. Valen, Botter with 1 assist each. Botter plus 8. And Arguchintsev, 0 points, -3. Korea, -1. Goaltending, Morozov is 2-1-0 with a 903, 2.69. And Sergei Kozevnikov, 3-0-0 with 2 shutouts, 963 and 0.67 goals against. So I think he will be the starter for the regular season, but we still have other questions to answer. So I look forward to hearing your thoughts on that. Before closing it out, as always, we'll just take a quick look at the trade blocks around the NHL to see if anything is enticing to us. Sorting by overall. As always, if there's someone you want to know more about, just leave a message, whether it be in a comment or in the Discord server, and I'll get you images, pictures, whatever you got to know. So Daniel Sprong is here, as is a couple other low 80 overalls, but Sprong is tempting. Arizona Coyotes, you got Braden Shen, Charlie McAvoy, Anthony Beauvillier, Jake DeBrusk, a lot of names, Studnicka, Butcher, Yafalo. The Bruins are selling on a lot of players. Buffalo has just some prospects. Calgary, no one. Carolina, more prospects. Svensson, not the craziest prospects. Oh, wow, Chicago. Hiroshi, Shea Theodore, Jake Virtanen, Mason Shaw. Of course, former Wild Mason Shaw. How has he been doing with Chicago? He's now played 2 seasons. Yeah, he had 32 points in 62 games last season. Love Mason Shaw. John Klingberg, Joel Eriksson Ek as well, and their former Wild. Appleton, Gambrell, Brook, Dumba. Man, the Hawks have a lot of former Minnesota Wild players. Colorado, more prospects. No one on Columbus. Dallas, no one. Detroit, Dougie Hamilton, 1 year, $10.3 million. Not going to happen. Edmonton prospects. Florida has Rickard Rakell. That's not Rickard Rakell, just R. Rakell. So prospects. LA, Grunstrom, Rasmussen. Canadians have Oliver Bjorkstrand, Taylor Hall, Darnell Nurse, Brett Pesce. So those are Pesce and Hall were both free agents, so they're already on the block. Brendan Gallagher, 1 year, 1.895. That could be an interesting trade deadline move for Brendan Gallagher. And let me know if we're not, maybe if there's no one to trade for, at least who should we be scouting to think about trading for? No one on Nashville or New Jersey. Islanders, Patan, Rangers, more prospects. Prospects there as well. Prospects, Penguins, Rob Thomas, Max Domi, Jaden Schwartz, Donato, Carlson, Gourde, Radish, McCabe. Lots of options there as well. San Jose, Teravainen, 2 years left on his deal. Dursey, Blues, Yarn Crow, Lightning, prospects, Maple Leafs, prospects, Vancouver, Alex Nylander, Jakob Vrana, Matt Duchene, all on the block. Okay. Vegas, no one. Washington prospects, and Winnipeg prospects. Okay, so there are all the trade blocks that you may need to make yourselves aware of. Let me know who should be scouted, who should be looked at, who should be targeted. What are we doing with this lineup, and any other say that you may have in this team. A pretty solid offseason. What a move to get that first overall selection as well. Tarky and Botter off to the New York Rangers. I wonder how they look in that lineup. Just got to quickly take a look here. I'm very curious where they fit in this lineup. Brad Lambert. Is he not even in the lineup? What? Is he not even here? He's a healthy scratch. This might just be preseason stuff, but currently a healthy scratch, did not play at all. And he's an 84 overall, did not grow. Yikes. And Mika Tarky, he's still an 85 overall. They signed him for 6 years at 6.570. So good for Mika Tarky. At least he's getting some ice time. That's a very, very solid defensive core in New York, I have to say. So good for them. Goalies, it's Georgiev, Almqvist. Okay. All right. So, like I said, let me know all your thoughts down in YouTube or over on the Discord server. Link in the description for that. If you're not following along as well with our Ottawa Senators franchise mode, you can do so here on YouTube or by checking out the Twitch link down in the description, streaming that franchise mode on Thursday evenings at 8 p.m. Eastern. And doing a lot more here on the channel. NHL 07 coming very soon. If you haven't already, check out the roster overview. That will be heading into the 07 Dynasty mode. And there's a lot more here on the channel. So if you're enjoying it, give it a little tour, consider subscribing, and we would absolutely love to have you join the team. Look forward to hearing all your thoughts and seeing you all in the next one.